Hello, I'm Henry. A quick bit about me. I once set up, I grew and I sold a multi-million pound business. And today I'm sharing what I learned, what to do and sometimes what never to do. To hear my tips, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've called it My Business Brain. Now in this first video, I'm going to focus on the single biggest factor that contributed to my success. Turning static sales into repeating revenue. Get it right and it will be an absolute game changer.
Convenience culture.
Let's kick off by taking stock of the world as it is today. The first thing to acknowledge is that everything is so much more accessible. Almost anything we want is just one single click away. And you know what? It's incredibly convenient. Now, some people say convenience culture is another term for laziness, but I don't really agree with that. To me, convenience is about giving us more time to do the things we actually enjoy doing. Today's customers don't just like convenience, they absolutely demand it. And the way we buy things has changed too. Regular payments, subscriptions, auto renewals, they all make life so much simpler and more convenient.
Subscription sales.
Subscription sales have become a huge driving force in business and how we shop. It's where customers make regular payments for a service or product, and it's happening in virtually every aspect of our lives. Who doesn't make payments to Netflix, Apple, Microsoft? And it's not just technology either. Think about insurance, household bills, phone apps, games, gym memberships. We really are living in the repeating revenue revolution.
Repeating revenue.
A while back, my wife spotted a mouse in our kitchen. And let's just say domestic calm was instantly over. So I called a company. For this video, I'm going to call them Mouse Moppers. It's not their real name, but I don't particularly want to get sued for mentioning the actual firm. Now, instead of charging a one-off £500 fee to deal with the problem, their sales rep offered a maintenance contract. It was going to cost us £250 a quarter. Sounded like good value to me. Regular checks, prevention, no mice, and most importantly, a happy wife.
Growth generation.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. Let's say Mouse Moppers handle 300 jobs a quarter, and their one-off treatments are £500 each. Well, with static revenue, that's £600,000 a year in sales. Let's look at how a move to repeat revenue contracts impacts on their sales. Here, the first quarter, just 20% of their customers, 60 people, choose the £250 quarterly plan, like me. In that first 3 months, Mouse Moppers' one-off revenue actually dropped slightly from £150,000 to £120,000. But they had £15,000 in recurring revenue. With that subscription revenue steadily rolling in, at the end of the first year, the mix of one-off and contract customers increases total income from £600,000 to £630,000. Well, that's a modest lift. But with 240 customers now signed up for the next 2 years, that's £480,000 of money coming into their bank over the next 24 months. The lifetime value from that year's sales alone jumps from £600,000 to over £1 million. And if they increase the contract uptake to 30% of customers, that number climbs above 1.3 million, more than double what they've earned from one-off static revenue jobs. And for me, the customer, it's convenient. Mouse Moppers visit every 3 months, so we now have a relationship with their engineer who can advise us. He reassures that all is well, happy wife again. And for me, it means that my wife will be happy for the next 3 years. Maybe.
Inspiration.
Now, Mouse Moppers weren't losing customers. Their challenge was growing repeat revenue. But our next story is very different. We're moving from pests to pets. Meet Happy Tails, a small chain of local pet supply shops. Rachel's the manager of their flagship store, but Rachel is not having a good time. Pet food makes up 75% of her store sales, but since the nearby supermarket added an entire aisle dedicated to pet food, her revenue has slumped. Customers still adore Rachel and her team, Staff even know most of the pets by name, but convenience is winning. The supermarket's one-stop shop is changing buying habits, and it's changing them very, very quickly. To make matters worse, new parking restrictions in the town centre store that Rachel runs aren't helping either. Now this might be a made-up example, but it's one that feels very real for countless small businesses. The good news, Rachel has already spotted the problem. And after chatting with her customers, she realised the issue wasn't price, it was simply convenience. People were simply picking up pet food while doing their weekly shop. But Rachel also knew something important. Pets eat the same amount of the same food week in and week out. That predictability gave Rachel an idea. She phoned a few regulars and asked, what if we delivered your pet food each week, no extra costs, and charge it automatically to your card? Customers loved it. Home deliveries would be made by members of the store team, so there would still be a relationship, and customers could email if they wanted to add extras or pause deliveries while they're away on holiday or vacation. Each order included a few free treats, even a birthday surprise for Fido and his special day. Now, within weeks, tails were wagging when the Happy Tails van pulled up outside each customer's house. And before long, pet food sales weren't just back to where they'd been, they were higher than ever. Now, that's proof that sometimes the smartest way to fight back isn't to compete, it's to adapt.
Thinking differently.
So far, we've looked at businesses where recurring revenue makes perfect sense. But what about the ones where it sounds almost impossible? The ones where you think nobody would ever subscribe to that? Well, maybe they would. Take something with a really clearly defined endpoint, like a wedding planner. Now, once the big day's done and the wedding's over, a wedding planner can hardly sell a subscription package to multiple weddings. But what about if they change their offering? Look at it differently. Just like Happy Tails, they could shift from a one-off event to an ongoing relationship. Now, the happy couple are newly married and they're in love and they're happy. So what better time to start planning and saving for their anniversary party or the next big celebration? And that same thinking can work in other industries too. If I want to buy a hammer, I am not going to sign up for a hammer subscription. But what if the DIY store offered something more valuable? I don't know, a home protection program. Each season they could send me a homeowner's kit with simple guides on what I need to check and repair in order to protect my home from the winter weather. That's not just selling tools, that's building loyalty. Now, once I remember talking about repeat revenue with a friend. He owned a large hairdressing salon in London. He said it would never, ever work. Who would buy a subscription to a haircut? And he had a good point. A couple of years later, I was at a trade exhibition in Las Vegas and I needed a trim. The salon I found had 4 membership levels, each with a monthly or annual fee. It included haircuts, beard trims, exclusive offers, and unlimited around-the-ear touch-ups. I didn't even know what they were, but it sounded tempting. It was just the 11-hour flight was a bit of a barrier. But whether it's pets, hammers, or haircuts, the principle's the same. It's about thinking differently.
Selling to businesses.
So far, we've only looked at B2C sales, businesses selling to consumers. But what about business to business? Well, to be honest, it's the same principles that apply. To be truly successful, a recurring revenue model has to benefit both the seller and the buyer. So before we look at examples, let's think what a purchasing manager actually wants and needs. Reliability and quality of product or service, of course, but let's assume we already tick those boxes. They'll want a good price. They'll want the price locked in so they can lock in their own budgets. And rather than unpredictable invoices, they'll probably prefer steady, predictable cash flow. So how can their suppliers adapt? Well, The office cleaning company could agree a fixed term, fixed price contract, giving both sides regular income for the cleaning company and expenditure for the company, the customer. Accountants, maintenance firms and security companies could offer fixed fee retainers based on an average monthly workload. And many suppliers might negotiate multi-year deals with prices fixed or increases capped. All these examples show how recurring revenue can benefit both sides, strengthening relationships and building long-term stability.
Essential elements.
Even in the modern world, people still buy from people, and relationships still matter. A relationship means people relating to people, not machines. Think about your bank. How many of us are still as loyal as we once were? Now branches have closed, everything's online. So adjusting your business to the modern world isn't just about getting people to subscribe to your stuff and sitting back waiting for the money to roll in. There's far more to it than that. And I'm going to explain some of the elements that are essential to success with repeat sales. First up, you need to communicate with your subscribers, and please do not think that sending a faceless email once a month counts as communication. Many customers, if they're happy with your service, might not feel the need to get in touch. Others will stay quiet right up until the moment they leave. Next, you need to monitor usage. If someone joins the Las Vegas hair salon club but never actually has a haircut, they're more than likely to cancel, whether it's after a month or a year. The Happy Tales model avoided that problem. They deliver automatically every week, and because the deliveries are made by a member of their own store team, they're maintaining that relationship. And with mouse moppers, if they make sure my wife never sees another mouse in the house, that's what I bought into. And the chances are we'll extend the contract. Next, constantly maintain and improve the quality of your service. Don't just meet the minimum expectations, exceed them. Find little ways to go the extra mile. That's what keeps customers talking about you for the right reasons, and it keeps them coming back. Finally, be honest. If someone wants to cancel, accept it gracefully. Don't hide behind small print or make it really difficult and confusing to leave, having to phone this number or click this link and have a password. Thank them for their business and leave the door open, because treating people well when they leave often makes them more likely to return one day.
Formula for success.
Shifting a business to repeat revenue needs thought and planning. There's the legal side, payment systems. What services might you add or adapt? How will you switch existing customers? And it's not just something that you can just tick the box, mark it as done. Constant evaluation of engagement levels and customer satisfaction, they're critical. Managing renewals, monitoring cancellations, because there will be cancellations. Whether you're already running on repeat revenue or you're just getting started, you might want some help. If you'd like to use My Business Brain, please do get in touch.
Thank you.